invite you as well onto Instagram.
But you're a little early, no? Does that not matter?
Yeah, sure. No, I'm just setting this up. I've never tried this before, so.
None of us. I can't see myself though. Okay, is that normal?
No. Is your camera open?
How would I know if it's open?
There should be beside the mute. There's a camera button.
There is.
Yeah. Just.
I see Q and wait. Maybe I'm looking. No, because I'm on an iPad, right?
Yeah, just down there. Okay, there's mute and stop video. And if you open your video.
No, I don't have that.
Well, let me see. Let me see what options I have.
I think you have to let me in. How do we normally do it? Yeah. Oh, yeah, because it's different because then it's just you and me, right?
Yeah. Hide non-video participant. And your camera doesn't work. It's only talking, is it?
Well, I would imagine you can see me, right?
No, I can't. I can see your screen but it looks like your camera is closed.
Okay, so let me see. No, that's minimize webinar. It doesn't say, I don't see anything about a camera anywhere.
Yeah.
That's so bizarre. Let me see. Zoom. No, live interview. It says chat, raise hand, mute. I don't have any camera option.
I don't see that either.
I don't.
Let me see.
Here we go already. I'm trying to think. I would think my camera is open. Here, let's have a peek in settings. Hold on. In the iPad settings, okay?
Okay.
Zoom would be all the way at the bottom.
It just says chat here.
Yeah, my camera and microphone are open.
Okay.
So it can't be that. I think you have to do something, I would imagine.
Disable, not unless I make you a host. Let me just see if the settings.
No, I think you as a host can
The only options it's given is chat and talk.
No, chat is the right
chat and, and talking. So
we both have the same issue then, I guess.
Let me see.
I'm trying to understand, like when we both do it just one-on-one, we can see each other, remember?
Yeah, but that was with Zoom personal.
Okay. I don't know nothing about
webinar. I didn't know this experienced this before. Let me see one sec. Promote, rename, remove.
Yep.
Hang on, let's see. Okay, choose videos, video settings. No. Stop live video, stop streaming. I don't know what to do.
Classic. Yeah, I think, I don't know. My guess is that when you set this up, or Sergio set it up, he probably would have had to have set it up. So I imagine, no? Because I told you I've been on Zooms where they let everybody in.
Yes, yeah. Let me see more. Stop that. Let me see questions, answer, resume, polls.
Very bizarre.
Participants. The participants open. I've got you. I've got chat. Promotion. This is very strange. I've done Zooms before, and you can always invite somebody in.
Do you think we should log out and try again?
Gallery. Okay, yeah. Go out and let's try again. Okay.
Okay, I'm leaving. Yeah.
Okay. Talk to you in a sec.
Talk to you in a sec. I'm here. Don't worry.
If not, it's Instagram.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi, everyone. We're just setting this up. I've never done. This is new for me as well.
Okay, there you go. Did you unmute me?
I did.
That was you, okay.
I can hear you. It only gives the option allowed to talk.
I know.
Never seen this before. It normally gives video as well.
There must be something in the presetting that did that, I presume.
No, never seen this option before. It normally gives you the option for video.
I know, when we're talking, even our one-on-one thing,
Yeah.
you can hit the camera or not. It's so bizarre.
Yes, yeah. I've never seen this before.
Is Sergio around? Can he help us?
Ask him. He's never done this before either. Let's see.
On my end, there's like literally nothing. There's
no options here on this end either.
No.
Your blood stream, polls, chat, participants.
And we have like a minute before we should be. Okay. I mean, we can be a minute late, I guess, but.
Yeah. Let's go straight to Instagram, okay?
Are we leaving this on though, or not?
Yes, let's leave it on and we'll record and we'll do the whole thing on Instagram. We'll do it on Instagram, okay? And I'll just record this in the background, all right?
Okay, so then I can move my iPad away a bit, right? Because it's less distracting to have one. I'll leave it so you
leave it like this so you can hear,
but it's
not showing you. And then I'll load up the story actually from Instagram, okay?
Yeah, okay. So I can just like turn it away from me, the iPad, so I don't see you twice is all.
Yeah. Whatever you feel, okay? Whatever's good for you. Let me go.
But are we not gonna? I should mute you though. I should turn the volume down so we don't have you feeding back into Instagram, right?
I'll do the same here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized that.
Okay.
So hold on. There. Can you hear me still? Oh, okay.
Hi everyone. I'm about to go live with Nimi. I've never done this before. I set it up on Zoom, but the only problem is that I can't get the video running for Nimi. So Nimi, if you come in and send me a message, I'll let you in, invite you in. Hi everyone. The only problem is that I can't get the video running for Nimi. So Nimi, if you come in and send me a message, I'll let you in, invite you in. Hi everyone.
I did.
Hello. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Can you ask to come in, maybe? I've never done this before. Go live. Oh, there we go. Can you ask to come in?
I did.
Let's see.
There we are.
Hi everyone. I'm just getting ready to go live. I've never done this before. Oh, great, it worked. One of them worked. First time to try this.
Absolutely.
I've done it many times. Other people invite me in normally, but I've never hosted it. So this is the first. Thank you for this. But 1 second. My internet is a bit slow, so I'm just going to go into a different Wi-Fi setting. So I'm going to go on to a different Wi-Fi setting in the house. I'm going to the extender. And then I'm going to put the computer on a different setting. 1 second. My internet is a bit slow, so I'm just going to go into a different Wi-Fi setting. Okay. Is it working?
Yes.
It works, yeah.
I do have this Zoom sort of like, because it's probably the same for you, right? It's a different.
Yeah, so it's just a slight time delay.
Yeah, so I'm pushing it away.
I've actually taken the sound off mine, but I think.
Oh, can I do it? But mine still keeps going ever so slightly.
Okay, if you just turn the volume down.
I have, but it won't go through. Hold on.
This is all new to me, the audio. You are muted, recording, okay.
If I mute it,
So-
then you won't hear me
then you
anymore,
won't
am I
hear me
correct?
anymore, am I correct?
The mute won't, no. So the volume, you turn the volume down on your computer.
It's an iPad and it doesn't. Okay, that's the best I can do.
Excellent.
So, sorry everybody for our incompetence in technology.
Well, we warned each other. We both never tried this before, and I set it up on YouTube and Zoom, and for some reason I can't bring you on. I can hear you, but I can't see you. So we're on Instagram Live, and we can see each other.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Nimi, for we were just talking yesterday, and or yesterday or the day before we decided, okay, let's try this.
Yes.
Let's talk about the different about the work and about your experience
and the new what I'm so excited about, and I have like so many questions, is the teaching, because I've been working with you for a year now, so I've never had a chance before to experience your teaching. And so when I saw that you posted that was coming up, I was like full of questions. Like, what does that even mean? Like teaching, how? Like, because whatever it is you do, I love it, and we'll get later to that about the results, but it's still really mystical, I think, to me. And so I think I'm sure others too are very curious as to what that entails, teaching. So maybe you'd like to enlighten us a bit.
Absolutely. I'm just getting a word from Sergio about something. I'm just going to just check. He's saying, no, stop. Let me see. First of all, yeah, Sergio, yeah. On YouTube, you can listen to double voice all the time. So
that's what I thought.
Yeah, so because you can listen Nimi from there. Yeah. Okay, so surely something in Zoom doesn't work because you can be surprised. I know.
Anton's coming running.
And
what?
He's got to save us.
What?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Sorry, everyone, about this. First time to try this. No, you should. Is Anton going to test?
No.
Okay. Let's see.
Is something like, Sergio, is my camera feeding back in on my sound? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly, because maybe Damien is going to he's listening from his phone, your voice. So go through the computer, and so in YouTube when I'm streaming, we listen twice. So it's not working streaming to YouTube. So maybe can you listen Zoom? No, can you listen Zoom? Yeah, or use you try with that. I think. Okay. So they don't talk.
I'm actually confused. I'm so sorry, everyone.
No. Sorry, everyone, for this.
But we couldn't practice this, because of the setup. So sorry.
Okay, I need to get headphones. Okay, that should sort it out.
Okay.
I have the old stuff from my computer, but not the pods. So
I have.
Sorry about this, everyone.
I don't need to wear a headset, do I?
No, I don't think so. I think it's all right.
Okay.
So it's just a feedback.
Yeah, because
do you have a headset just in case?
I do, but I might have to ask Anton to help because it's downstairs.
All right, okay.
But, I'm sorry, everybody. I feel like we're
sorry about this. Okay, so I have to set this up. I can use these on the top. Let me set my
Bluetooth. My headset.
I'm just going to try
the orange flag down the entry. No, one down.
It was off. Okay.
There's a little black pouch. I'm so sorry, everybody. I feel we're keeping you waiting.
Sorry about this, everyone.
Yeah,
okay, I heard a sound, so yeah, something happened. You should be very fast. Okay.
But Damien's frozen on Instagram now.
Yeah. Sorry about this, everyone. Be with you very soon. Connect. Never done this before.
Right.
The two open at one time.
We have need to
Just syncing up the
Damien,
headphones.
can you hear me? Oh, this is
Give
just a
me one
disaster.
second.
Het gaat niet goed zijn. Wij zijn niet meer, denk ik, op Insta, we hebben al
Powerful.
mensen verloren met haar.
It'll be worth it if you hang in there.
Dat is
And
jammer.
yeah, I'll do it back on my story later.
Can you hear me, Damien?
Somebody doesn't want to start.
Nimi is Dutch.
Scroll notifications. Okay, great, and they're charged. So I'm gonna go back here.
Okay, here.
Okay, so let me see. And
Let me.
Yes.
okay, it's working.
Oh my word! I'm so sorry. Like people just been leaving.
You listen here?
I'm listening there. It's not working. Actually, it's not working.
Do you want me to put the headset on?
Once. Oh no, it's working. It works now. Yeah. You can hear me?
Yes, I
Okay,
can.
so I
Can you
think
hear?
that's okay. I think that's all right.
Okay.
So just can check on YouTube at the moment and just let us know if it works.
Okay. Well, let's continue where we were at.
Yes. So yeah, we were talking about
Teaching. And when I heard your announcement, I was very excited, of course, but also curious because, as I said, I feel there's a certain mysticism to what you do, or like something not so tangible, maybe for a lot of us. Even if we feel results, that's different than, you know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
Yes. I have to say, I had the same issue myself when I started this work. Because I started to get results from people I was working with. I was like, I got this internal thing that I was to share this with everybody and to teach people how to do it. And I was like, how am I going to teach this? You know, at the time I had developed a technique with 120 different points on the body, and I was touching different parts of the body, and I get results through that. And then I was told to teach it. I was like, how can I?
Disconnect your microphone, otherwise you listen from your headphones and your microphone. So disconnect this one and talk only with headphones.
Will it work on YouTube?
You have to disconnect your microphone.
Maybe we can give a seminar on technology.
Exactly. That's something else. So yeah. So anyway, so what happened was I was told to teach what I've been working on or working with for the last couple of years. It took me a few years for these different techniques to come through me, and then I was told to teach it. And I actually was told that don't worry about it. It'll be okay. Because it took me a couple of years to integrate what was coming through me. And it was very detailed what I was teaching. So when I went to Ireland, Janine taught at that stage in Ireland, and she says, "Don't worry, just I'll get people together for the workshop." And then I had this thing about told what I wouldn't talk. So I went there, and I had a weekend to teach something that I knew technique. And so what I did was I was guided to clear belief systems that they can't do it, that they're not good enough, that you can't connect to energy, that you can't connect to your heart. It was just clearing, it was clearing. And then I felt these transmissions going in. So there's an echo on this, it's okay, it'll work. So you just can watch it on Instagram. I'm going to have it on Instagram later, anyone who's watching on YouTube. So what happened was I was clearing, and on the second day I was told to do transmissions. So while I was talking about the technique, they knew how to do it because they got the transmissions on the soul level. And then at that point I was doing very detailed technique, and I said, okay, everybody pair up. And they just intuitively could do it. And they felt it, and they got the results. So they were in their self-confidence. So I could see that, wow, this works. So what it is, it's quantum entanglement. That's what's really going So that's where it's like physics. So 2 points, if there's 2 glasses and 2 vessels, and one vessel has cleared the topic, for example,
Okay.
connect by intention, it automatically clears the other vessel without energy going this way. It just happens.
So that is part of what you intend to be teaching on Saturday. Is that what I understand?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off very grounded. I'm going to start off very basic. So I'm going to start off with how systems work.
Which we would all love to know.
Yeah,
sure.
I didn't know, for example, I got this information saying, okay, the universe is like a game. You need to know how it works. Once you know how the universe works, then you can work with it and know how to maneuver and navigate it. So over the last 15, 20 years now, I've been giving different keys on how we work and how trauma works, for example. So as a child, we are like a sponge when we're born, like in the womb. And up to the age of 16, we're like a sponge. And if you imagine that this is the child system, so this is in the lower chakras, okay? And if you experience your dad shouting, for example, and it creates a little imprint on a soul level, okay? And then a piece of that soul goes out, but the information of the trauma is in the system. So when you're growing up between 0 to 16, there's a lot of these little imprints that's in our system. They build up, okay? And they stay with us. After 16, the system closes, and then people can activate the old energy. So your partner or someone triggers you, they're activating an old wound from your childhood. And what happens is the energy charge comes out to them, okay? But the energy is intelligent. The energy knows it's from them, so it comes back into your own system.
Okay.
What happens is it'll actually open your system as well. If you have similar vibration in your system. Sorry about this. It doesn't work on me.
It doesn't work because there is something that is towards your voice and they cannot follow. So always stop the YouTube because it doesn't really work. And go just on Instagram. You have this on Instagram. Anyone wants to switch from YouTube to Instagram.
And
do you want to keep the Zoom going, Damien?
Let's see. He's just checking it now. So I'll just
because it's really interesting and like I'm learning so much.
So what happens is when
of course this camera is twice the sound. It's keeping the sound of this camera.
Computer is we're learning. So what happens is energy comes out when someone triggers you. Say your partner triggers you.
Right.
So that energy belongs to you from between the ages of 0 to 16.
Okay.
And when, for example, you put the intention saying, okay, what's opening up between us belongs from, is actually nothing to do with me. I'm taking self-responsibility to what opened up between us. But the charge you're sending to my system actually doesn't belong to me. It belongs to another time and space. And what you opened in me belongs to another time and space, so nothing to do with you.
Okay, I think you're getting a little bit complicated. So
okay. I'll say this again. I'll go more really. Okay. So when you're triggered, when something emotionally triggers you, which is happening in the last moment, okay?
Right.
It's opening up an old wound. Okay. So it's in the emotional body. It's in your system. Out.
Right.
This energy is representing a separation. Connection.
Okay.
It could be violence or explosive energy even, okay? But what happens is when the energy goes out, if it goes to the wrong system, the wrong person, because it doesn't belong here, it belongs to your childhood,
Right.
okay? The energy does not transform, doesn't heal.
Okay.
It only heals when you bring it to the right place. Okay? Now, if I open this energy onto you, for example, it's going to open up your childhood trauma. And then you could talk to me, and then it comes to me, and it'll open more trauma. So we're in fighting mode now. Okay.
Right.
So what to do? It takes practice, because that gets addictive as well. It goes into our nervous system. So people are addicted to playing this out, this game. Okay. But actually, when you become more conscious and, okay, I feel something opening in me, like this is what I'm doing daily in myself. When something triggers me, I say, oh, wow, thank you. This is an opportunity for healing.
Say thank you.
No wound, you know, it's like, this is going to support me to transform it, because I don't need to experience this again if I transform it. Okay, so I'm not a victim of this energy. I'm not a victim of what opens up in my system. So if something triggers me, it means, oh, thank you. It's opened something that I couldn't reach before. I didn't even know it was there before. But this belongs to a different kind of space, and I allow this energy to go back to the origin.
Okay.
With intention. Intention is the key for opening systems. Accessing systems, okay? I'm always looking for words which open systems. Intention will open a system, and you can enter a system that way. What is a system? A system is, you know, it could be a work system, a relationship system, a health system, a banking system.
I was going to say
different systems, okay? So if you judge a system, it kicks you out.
Right.
Okay.
So if I, just to get it clear for our listeners, viewers, just so maybe you could clarify a little bit for us what the difference is between the webinars, the meditation webinars that you do, and this teaching that you're going to do.
Okay.
So
what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain more about the different systems.
Okay.
How they open, how they work, okay, and how to transform them consciously. Now, your spirit is waiting to come down, like a lot of your spirit's in, but there's always more of your consciousness which wants to come in, but it needs to break through the mindsets. It needs to get through the fog. It needs to get through the resistance. All right. So when I work with somebody or when I'm teaching, what I'm doing is I'm giving you the energetic information to your spirit, okay, with the consciousness and the guidance. All right. So suddenly your spirit is in your consciousness. Okay. So then it sort of resets your system. It's you become more wiser as a spirit. So when you go out on the street and someone triggers you, automatically your system says, okay, that is not personal. This is an opportunity for healing and transforming. So instead of going into explosion, I go into implosion. Implosion brings healing. It brings completion of cycles, transformation. So you complete the cycles, okay? So it's a little bit more than this, because it's opening my 0 to 16 in my childhood and my womb experience, but it's also opening the information which is belonged to my mom and my dad and my ancestors 0 to 16 as well, okay? It's also opening up my past life information, okay? So, but when you talk about it and become aware of the different systems, I noticed what was confusing me in the beginning when I started this work was that I was bringing in different techniques for clearing trauma and clearing mindsets and working with the genetics. And I would do those techniques for a couple of weeks and teach them to people, and then I'd stop doing them. And I was wondering, why did I stop using them? But I noticed when I was working with other systems, they were working in the subconscious. They were working already without me even having to talk about it. Because it's like the immune system. The immune system more intelligent, more wise. So it's educating my being.
Right.
So when I'm, for example, working with groups, I've worked through many different, I've developed, well, brought in different techniques, different ways for working with trauma, working with sexuality, working with clearing the subconscious, working with clearing the blood, clearing the nervous system, clearing the organs, working through the brain. So I've worked those systems so much in my system that it's in my system running all the time when it's needed. So when I connect with a person, this information, because we're quantum, we're entangling, twinning, starts teaching your system what my system knows, or your system teaches me what my system doesn't know. Okay, so that's just how creation works. When you go beyond the ego and connect in love, in this connection of creation, then this is almost like a higher level of consciousness opens up, and you start accessing new levels of consciousness. It's beyond the 3D world. It's going up into that. I was amazed when I started working with groups. My mind was saying, how can I do this? Like I used to work with like big groups, and someone would ask a question, and it was almost like pulling an X-ray up of that person. I would get to read and give details about what topics they had and what happened in their childhood. And my mind was saying, how do I know that? It's because you're going to another level of consciousness, and you can access much more abilities. And I feel this is the shift that's happening in the world at the moment, that especially in December, we're all shifting into higher levels of consciousness. We were in the small mind. We were in the trauma-based, victim-based, perpetrator energy fields, which are denser fields, which disconnects us from our heart and our creation field, which is another level of consciousness. We have incredible abilities, but we forgot them and we don't trust them. So in the weekend teachings, what I'm doing is I'm supporting you by talking and giving you transmissions, okay? And also clearing what mindsets are blocking you from knowing this, okay? So you're remembering your wisdom, you're remembering your self-confidence again in yourself, in your inner knowing and your intuition.
Yeah, it's interesting to say that about the mindsets, because that's a huge thing that I have learned from you. And I always imagined that I had always been someone trying to deprogram and not. But it's crazy, after doing this year of work with you, I really have come to realize that it's almost unavoidable. We just all are so heavily programmed. Undoing the programming is a really interesting process, and something I've learned so much from you, and we've worked through so much of it. It
is. It's amazing. Like I'm constantly working on myself, and when I work through the program myself, then I can transmit that frequency of transformation to others then and teach it. So, for example, if you want to, I don't know, if you want to go write a book, for example, you may have 100 ancestors saying, I'm no good at writing, I'm no good at spelling, I'm dyslexic, so you can't do that, you'll fail, they'll be ashamed. So every time you go to write that book, you're going to have all these old mindsets in the background. So the work that I do is releasing these mindsets from your system, that you're consciously connected to your spirit and bringing down what is your real gifts, what is you, who are you, and it's really embodying who you are without the noise behind the system, without those voices telling you.
And the programming is literally everywhere, it's just around you, and from movies and advertising, magazines, and it's just endless. And
it's really, really strong at the moment. Well, it's always been strong, but it's really, really strong. It always reminds me of, I remember when I was growing up and I watched the movie Jaws, and all the kids in school were afraid to go to the swimming pool and to get in one of them was afraid to get into the bath. And what that opened up in the field was, it opened up in the astral field a huge fear of sharks and going into the water. Now, because so many people saw the movie and became afraid of sharks, they would only think about it and they tap into the astral fear, which was a huge collective fear of Jaws. And then they're in that emotional response and they're in panic and fear and trauma. So that was something that was created by the masses. So what's happening at the moment is this, you know what, has been really programming, and you only have to watch the news and it's death and you're going to die and this is going to kill you. And that is so strong in the field, in the astral field, that people are just tapping into this huge field. And it's not consciousness. This is a program. And this is a program of the collective, which has been programmed that people start going into their own fears, adding fear to the system, and they feel it and they sense it and they believe it. So you emotionally feel it as well. So you totally believe it because I can feel it and it's affecting my emotions. But what it's really doing is it's opening up fear of death, fear of disease, which was in your system already, maybe from your ancestors, maybe from a past life, and then it's tapping into this collective fear. Yeah. So it's very important to be aware of that, unplug from other people's fears. And I love fears because I know there's a bigger part of me on the other side.
Oh, that's a whole different way to look at it. To say you love fears, most people don't.
Yeah, it's it's a tip. It's like your spirit saying, Damien, look at your biggest fears, because the biggest part of your power is on the other side of that. And
yeah, I feel that way about illness even, it's your body saying, look at it.
Yeah. Illness is absolutely, it's the same thing. It's the illness is a gift. It's like, no, Damien, look at your cells. I always, if someone says, for example, they have cancer, I'd say, no. Your cells are talking to you, and you've been ignoring them for a long time, and you need to listen to them every day. They want to talk to you every day. So have a conversation with them, connect with them, ask them what they want to tell you. And it's like a book. They'll just keep revealing more and more information to you, and you'll start healing yourself. And they're communicating, they love you, and they want you to change some things in your life. So what do you want me to change? What do you want me to do?
That's back to the whole programming about disease and sickness and how we view it as a bad thing, or
It's very simple. It really is simple. It just shows where we're out of balance. It's all about balance. Everything's about balance. So everything needs to go into balance. And once you balance all the levels, it's not just the energetic levels, it's all levels. So the work I'm doing is about every level of your life, from your bank account up to your work, to your then also in your subconsciousness, all the levels. I'm talking about
what you eat, what you put in your body, on your body,
how you're talking, what you think of yourself. Are you, what exercise are you doing? Are you getting some sunlight? Are you getting into nature? So everything is about coherence. It's about balance again. And then where are you out of balance? So that's really, And
the thing about what you say about where you're out of balance, in a way, as you said, it kind of is fed back to you through either disease or sickness or fear or anger. All of these are, in a way, just mirrors.
Absolutely.
Showing you that there's something on the other side, indeed.
If you can't forgive yourself, if you can't forgive somebody else, that's going to fester into a disease then. If your system wants you to let go, wants things to flow, wants you to learn and grow from life and experience and to live life.
Definitely. I mean, I think when we can learn to, or accept, maybe is a better word, that I've been very sick in the past, and I see that now as like one of the biggest gifts that came to me in life, because it showed me to really understand my body and turn basically my whole life around.
Yeah.
So that is just, those are gifts. They really are, and they're so profound.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Me too. I had many really serious accidents and injuries, and there were the points where I just transformed my life, where I stripped away different aspects of my belief systems and my ego, and stopped living for other people and live for myself and connect with myself and listen to myself and my body. And it's really incredible. It's a beautiful journey to go on.
Yeah.
And it is a journey. The whole thing is a journey.
I wanted to also just talk to you a little bit about your webinars and I think a lot of people who I talk to who have shared your work with are quite curious as to what it is we exactly do in these webinars and what you can expect in terms of results and things like that. So maybe is that something you'd like to just
sure
talk about it?
it looks very passive. Actually, the webinars in reality you're really getting involved. Okay, so when I connect with anybody, I know we're huge spirits. I know we have a huge amount of potential in our system. And then also I know that certain levels of our system is not letting us live that, or doesn't remember that, or doesn't believe that. There's wounds in the system, or maybe there's density in the body through these wounds, through this trauma, which doesn't let your spirit in. So in the webinars, what I'm doing is I'm holding the space really to connect to the physical body and see what information is in the physical body. So the physical body has all the keys and information in your physical body in the cells. So when you scan the physical body and connect with the physical body, it will show you where there's shadow imprints, where there's frozen trauma, where you got a shock, for example, and you didn't let it go. You know, a child will get up and scream and kick it off and let it out, or an animal will, but an adult just gets up and say, brush it off, I'm okay. But that stays in your system. So if that happens enough times, it creates these frozen, maybe a lot of grief, for example. It freezes the heart and your connection with your heart and life force. So when I'm working the webinar, I'm opening the space of, I'm working in my own system, okay? Because I spent years working, I was told by spirit, work in your body daily, work in your cells, clean your body, clean your cells as much as possible, clear the trauma, clear the fears, clear the nervous system, clear the mindsets. And through working with myself, my system is almost like showing your system that you can do it.
Right.
So as I'm working, activating different parts of the brain or different organs, liver and kidneys, your system is remembering that and starts transforming it too. And it starts showing up where the frozen emotions are, the unexpressed emotions. Some people start feeling different anxiety coming up, or different senses in the body. I feel like they need to adjust, or sometimes the digestion is really wise. The digestion holds. When you experience something as a child or in life, and your soul doesn't get the answer, it holds it in the digestion till your spirit gets it. And then when you get it, the digestion releases that module of energy. So usually people start, their digestion starts, they start burping, different things happen because it's shown that your system saying, you got it, release that energy. And let it flow again. So you start detoxing. And that will be physically, energetically. You may even have like aggression in your system, maybe the next day or something that could come up just to release that charge. But usually what happens is it brings you to a state where you either release it in the webinar or transform it in the webinar, or else your spirit says, no, I want to see that you got the message. So I want you to have a similar vibration experience again. And now you make a new choice.
Right.
Because now you're more confident and you're more aware. So your spirit likes to know, our spirits like to know, did you get the message? Did you get the lesson? Okay, you got it. Now you make a new choice and you take a new action. When you take the action, you get the result. When you go in gratitude, you also get a result. Gratitude is a huge healer. I remember years ago, I just sat, I woke up one day and I was like, wow, I'm so grateful I could, because I was in a wheelchair at one point. And I remember waking up and saying, wow, I'm so grateful I could open my eyes and see. And I could feel my eyes getting like really happy or something. And I went through my organs, I went through different parts of my body, and my body was like, wow, it's almost like I was with my knee, and I was like, wow, all the things you've done with me, because, without my knee, how would I be? How would my life be? And I was like, wow, I can cycle my bike this morning. I can go for a walk. I can get out of bed first thing. I knew what it was like not to be able to walk. So I was like, wow, I'm so grateful to my knee. And it was like my knee says, well, that's the first time you acknowledge me in your life.
Right.
you know? So I was like, wow, I felt such gratitude to my knee, and my body responded. It's like if you do some exercise, your body gets really happy and responds immediately after. So the system is intelligent, and it's communicating with us all the time. But we're in a technical universe at the moment where there's an overload of information coming to us all the time. And we're not meant for that. We haven't adjusted to that level of information bombarding us every day. So our system is talking to us, but because of all this noise, we forgot it, or we miss it, or we stop trusting it.
I think it's not trusting it and not listening to it.
Not listening to it,
we don't pause enough, I feel, to take the time to really listen to what your body or your system or whatever you want. Pause it. Also, I wanted to, while we're just on this subject, ask you, because, you know, every time you announce these new topics, like, so for example, we have, I think around the 21st, around then the solstice, that's an obvious, I don't even need to ask, but okay, let's say vanishing twin or whatever the subject. How do you get to that subject?
What I've been always guided to do is, so for example, like astrology. So each week the astrology is changing, each day it's changing, okay? It opens new topics.
Right.
And there are topics of the world. We think there are topics, but everybody has the same topic with our own goggles. Okay? Some of us are not listening to it, or frozen from that. Others are more sensitive to it. Then we bring our own version to that story, but it's a similar vibration topic. So we're all having the same topic, opening up at the same time with our own goggles and mirrors and in the system. Or even I'm Irish, so with my Irish goggles, I'll put it onto that topic, okay? So, or if I'm living in New York, I'll put my Irish plus my New York system into the system. So there's many, that's why I want to teach more about the systems, how the systems affect us, and how to be coherent in each system, and how to be aware of these different systems. So the topics are related to the world topics. So I get information on what's coming up, usually, you know, and then I say, okay, let's work on that. And it works in my system for a few days or a week beforehand. And it goes deep into my system. I transform it in me, and then I can give that information to whoever's in the webinar, transform it to everybody who's in the webinar.
So that's an interesting thing you just said, if I may, because I've actually never asked you that. Do you prepare a long time in advance for these webinars?
I absolutely go through everything. I feel everything related to the topics of it. It's sometimes like a roller coaster for me, and because it's bringing up all my ancestral topics related to that specific topic, the team, and it will find it. And you know, you could think, okay, maybe it's about money, but suddenly then it opens up the completely polar opposite, which you think has nothing to do with money, and you realize that's the key for transforming money in my system. So you never know where this is going to take you. It's like, I get the topic, I agree to do it. The minute I say, okay, I'll do that webinar, it starts in my system immediately, and will work through very, very deep in my system. And that's where I really get the information coming in during that week, during that 2 weeks before the webinar. It really activates very strongly in my system. So sometimes that's why I'm very blessed to be living here in Mykonos. I'm beside the sea. So I need to go for walks, or I need to
that was my next question.
Give myself space, to be able to listen to the guidance that's coming in that week for that preparation for that teaching or that webinar. So I'm being guided, and I'm being, you know, life is teaching me, spirit is teaching me on a daily basis towards whatever seminars I'm going to be doing. So I know that in this week, for example, with the teaching, it already started teaching me new things. I've been teaching for the last 15 years around the world, but new versions, the up-to-date versions are coming in. So new frequencies, because we're December, well, at the solstice, the reason the solstice, as I called it, it came in saying massive shift, massive jump. And the reason is because it has the potency and potential to take a massive shift in your life. There's such power coming in on those dates. And December is such a powerful month. That's why we're seeing so many different laws being made and crazy things being made at the moment, because they're old systems which have not been completed. And for healing and transforming them, you need them open. You need them active.
Well, that was that whole thing of the birthing canal experience, where you're just being, this feeling that at the moment that we're just being squeezed to almost push this out of us.
Absolutely. You feel like I give up, I'm never going to clear it, I'm never going to get there. And suddenly you're there, you're out, you're born. Okay. Right. So that is how systems work. The system is bringing it up, it opens it, it works it through your emotional body, it works it in your subconsciousness, and starts going through your whole system. And then if you really be conscious about saying, okay, I'm not a victim of this, I'm going to transform it. And I'm going to allow these energies to resolve in my system and complete in my system. They'll work by themselves. And you will transform them. Or your free will, you can say, I blame people. I'm a victim of this. It's his fault, it's her fault, it's that person's fault. But actually, you'll be amazed what you find in the system. If you find, like I would often spend time saying, okay, who's triggering me the most in the world? And I would mirror with that person or that system. And I say, okay, what do I feel? What's that bringing up in me? And I'd keep sitting with it and say, okay, I own what's mine. I own what's mine. And this could be past life. It could be my fathers. It could be my great-great-grandfathers. Okay. And similar, it's all about vibration. So where is that in me? And as it's working in my system, I can feel it's getting less and less and less and less. And then I feel a transmission of acceptance, but I don't mean accepting what's going on, but it's almost like it becomes neutral in my system, and it's pure love, because I realize that it's a wound in that other person's system, or that system is created from wounds. So then you go to another level of consciousness, and you start raising your level of consciousness, and then you start transforming old systems, because this may be it's going into other systems. So as we are all interconnected, and we're like a drop in the ocean, okay? So if I work on a fear, you work on a fear, you've helped me resolve the similar vibration fear. You've made it lighter for me, okay? So as each one of us is taking self-responsibility to awaken different soul aspects that I was sleeping on, or that I wasn't ready, or blinkers on, or not showing, I am resolving that topic in the collective field as well, on some level. And the more people do that, the more the system transforms. That's what the systems are trying to show us, that it's saying that you're not powerful, you've no control over your life, you're not strong, you can't change the system, all these things, but actually you can change the system. It's the total opposite, It's like we need to be told we're no good, till we accept, actually, I'm fine with myself, I believe in myself, I love myself.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and the biggest resistance in the system, and the biggest biggest resistance would be the resistance to our own light, to our own power, to our own abilities, and to live that's got the most dense programming not to live. So it's so easy to knock someone off out of alignment when you bring this information into the system, that you can't do this, that I make a new law, that you can't go outside, that you're going to go to prison, that you're not healthy, and your immune system doesn't work, and
you're in danger, you could get sick.
Danger, exactly. So it's like, and your subconscious is like, really? I believe it, because the subconsciousness then wakes up and says, oh my God, I'm going to die. Even though it's somebody else in the news or a movie, your system thinks it's you. Your subconscious thinks it's you and believes it. So then the system plays out all the chemistry and everything related to that. Yeah. So that's where it's really, I'm getting more and more conscious about how I live my life and how I spend my time, and what, is there TV on with the news or something in the background? And really connecting to nature. Nature really connects us back to balance and brings coherence back into the system again. So if you want to sit there with the news on all the time, that's okay. It is going to affect you. Be aware it's going to affect you.
Agreed.
It's creating imprints. It's really
It doesn't even matter if you claim you don't believe it. It just does affect you. I just completely stopped watching it. And I mean, I know to a small level, obviously, what is going on, the general basics, but that's where I keep it. And that's enough, right?
Yeah.
For all of us.
Yeah.
Really.
And you can really feel it. You can feel the truth. I know we need some news and we need to know what's happening around, At the same time, it's to, there's a certain amount where saying, okay, I got it. I know it. It's like, okay, there's a dark alley down there. I may get beat up if I go in that alleyway. Well, actually, I'm not going to take that turn anymore. I'm just going to walk straight. I don't need to keep going down the alley to see I'm getting beaten up down that alleyway. So I'm just not going to vibrate in that. I'm not going to choose that. I'm going to make a different choice.
Also, because I think in the end, you can be thinking you're on the other side of that system that is, but in the end, to me, they're both the same. And so I'm really
absolutely
to go down a different road, as you say, and not because one or the other, as long as you're in a fighting system, you're fighting, right?
100%. And it's
that's
just
not what we want anymore. And I really feel that is maybe the biggest thing I've learned this year is that to stop arguing with someone, whether they're right or wrong. I'm not interested anymore. Seriously, like you choose your path, but let's not fight over this.
Yes. Yeah. And that's why I wanted to make people more aware of the systems as well, because I have the best intention to do something amazing in this world. And if that aggression is activated from maybe my mother's line or my father's line, but it's not mine, okay? Even though I'm creating something new, that aggression is being created in the system.
Yeah.
And that fighting energy is in my system. It may not be mine, but it's in my system. Okay. So if I'm not aware of it, I'm going to create the same again.
Yeah.
So for me, it's to be aware of how I'm going on the street to march. If I'm going to march, you can march in a very conscious way for your rights. Or you can go out with this aggression. Which is old aggression from different times and spaces. And if it's from different times and spaces, you're going to create more aggression and more violence and more separation in the system. It's not about sides. It's about integration and using the old for integration and transformation. And and making new choices. It's not fighting the old systems. The old systems are collapsing. They're going to keep collapsing. It's about creating new systems.
Exactly.
It's about living your truth, creating new systems, and
finding new ways. Would that be correct to say?
Absolutely. Finding new ways. Yeah.
And imagining
new ways we had never tried before.
Yeah, absolutely. And just one last thing I thought, because I think we're going to be running out of time pretty soon.
Sure. Yeah.
There's in the whole alternative sphere, you hear a lot of everyone talking about this ascension to 5D.
Yes.
And I was just curious what your thoughts are on that.
Okay, so there's much more than 5D. We can go much higher. So for me, I want to love my shadow. I want to love my demon. I want to love all the parts of my system. So for me, it's about going deeper into my shadow, deeper into what's in my system. The deeper I go, the higher I go.
Right.
Some people are hovering. They're not looking into their systems and going higher, but they're going out of the body, and their aggression or trauma is below in the basement. And that's coming up in the system. So they're disembodying from their system. For me, it's about embodiment now. So that the universe is in me, creation is in me, and I invite my whole spirit down into my system. So for me, it's to be very grounded, to be very conscious about how I'm living my life and what choices I make, and also be aware that I have many gifts and everything's possible, and work through daily. For me, I'm amazed that I realized this years ago. It was like, wow, my day is my teacher.
Right.
Okay, every minute of the day is designed for me to grow. It's like the intelligence of the universe, the wisdom of the universe has designed the perfect workshop every single moment of every day. And do I choose that this person in front of me is my teacher or not? Or this situation is my teaching or not?
Right.
So everything is showing us what is in our system. We are a hologram, and we're sending out the information out to the field, and that's coming back to us. And if we like what, we may not like what we see in that hologram, and we may not feel comfortable with it, because these are the parts that's in our system, and that will manifest in your life in many different forms and ways. And it will keep coming back to your system unless you transform and accept what's in your system. It's in your body. Everything's in the cells in the body. So for me, it's to be very aware, very conscious, be present, and realize that everything in every moment of every day is teaching me how to develop, how to grow as a spirit here. We're here, we are spirits in a physical body, in this physical life, to develop, to transform, to bring these higher states of consciousness and lift them, not to come up out of the body and go up to higher dimensions and
So basically saying, oh, rising to 5D feels a little bit simplistic. Would that be put?
Yeah, well, it was interesting. I did a webinar there on the reptilian brain. And that came in there a few weeks ago, and I was like, wow, what, turn it off? What do you mean turn it off? That was the first thing that came up for me. And it made so much sense, because this reptilian brain in our system, like everything's in our genetics, and the reptilian brain is it brings up more aggression, it's survival, of course, and it's useful. So there's positive aspects with it, and you can master it and become coherent with it. But I was then told, try turning it off, try shutting it off. It's almost like saying, oh, can I turn it off? I didn't know I could turn it off. It's like, opening and closing your eyes. So I was guided and shown how to support people to turn it off. And when I turned it off, I realized, oh, noise is gone. And I felt connection. So I felt that I was going into higher states of consciousness where there was no separation, where there was no fighting, where there was no aggression, where there's only creation. So if you look at the animal kingdom and nature, it's all working perfectly together, okay? Man has not developed like them, okay? So we've lost the coherence, the balance. We've gone out of balance. And when you turn off the reptilian brain, you go back into balance. And you go back into the field of creation, which is around us in the animal kingdom, in nature, in the elements. You master the elements, and you start bringing down levels of consciousness, and then you start realizing, wow, I have much more consciousness than I ever thought that I can access. And then you start mastering and bringing down new states of consciousness. And for me, that is the way to connect to new earth. That's the way to manifest new earth. Because in the reptilian brain, it's about survival, it's about mind control, it's about aggression, it's about what's collapsing in the system now, actually. And then if you can master to be conscious, say, okay, it's there if I need it, but let's try creating with it off. And then suddenly you realize that I am one with everything, and it's all creation, and it's all perfect. And you can start manifesting and creating in your full potential, because you don't have that noise anymore saying you're not good enough, or you may get attacked, or you may die. Because when you win that state, you realize that, okay, I'll leave my physical body at some stage, but it's all creation. I'm never going to die. I am a creator. I am a spirit, which is an eternal spirit, which we all are. We all have that light of spirit, of consciousness. Yes, we're in the physical body at the moment in this system, but we never die in that way. So there's no fear of death, and there's no limitations. So you realize that everything's possible, and you realize that I am the creator of my body, and my body is speaking to me and is intelligent. And you connect with the intelligence within the body and the immune system as well. You realize, wow, okay, I want to work on my thyroid, I want to work on my heart, I want to work on my liver, and you connect to it. and you start getting information. You start feeling what to drink. You start feeling what will make it more healthy. You start being guided, and you start getting more awake. You start getting more in love. I think that's a better word. You start getting more in love with yourself. Marry yourself. So you accept yourself, and that's the divine in you. Whereas with the reptilian brain open, I realized that I don't love myself. I'm not accepting myself. I'm judging myself. I'm in the mind. Whereas if you turn it off, you go to a state of consciousness, and consciousness is in you. It's you. It's the universe. It's the universe is in you, and you are connected to that universe. You are the stars. You are the ocean, and it's really I was swimming today. I was lying in the ocean, and I was like, I felt like, wow, this is the ocean. This is the universe. This is creation, and that's how it is. It's flow. It's flow. And we were out of that because we were in fear, or we were in anxieties, or we're in me, all about the material world. But when you release the fear of death, when you release the fear of disease, and you accept yourself as a creator, as creation, you just melt into flow. You melt into balance, and everything is so beautiful and so perfectly designed. And it's like interesting, like the shell, exactly like the shell. Like, how beautiful is that shell, and how perfect it is. And that's how the universe, the intelligence of the universe that created that shell, is actually in you.
Right. I just to like warn you, from what I understand, but I'm not sure, that you only get an hour on Instagram Live. Is that correct?
Oh, okay. Maybe.
So we probably will get cut off in a few minutes. So I didn't want to.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you to just get cut off without us.
Yeah.
Thanking everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Yes, thank you, everyone. And sorry about the beginning, and sorry for anyone who is on YouTube or on Zoom. Next time I'll master that.
We'll figure it out.
Yes.
And thank you, Damien, for all that insight. Truly,
Yeah. Thank you, Nimi. Yeah. Thank you.
Learned so much again today.
I love it. You asked me the right questions and pushed me to open up more. Thank you. And
thank you.
I'll play this back on the stories if anyone's missed it or want to watch it again. Beautiful, Nimi. Thank you. Have a really nice evening. Take care.
Good evening,
thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Yes.
Bye.
And bye.
Bye. Turn it up. Thank you.
Really nice evening. Take care.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello,
bye.
Everyone on
Bye.
Zoom
Bye.
and YouTube, and I'm going to post this on my
Are you still there?
in Instagram. So